All right, very excited now to be joined by Chicago Bears wide receiver Rome Odunze here on behalf of Sharpie. Rome, what's going on?
Going good, man. Going good. Like you said, here on behalf of Sharpie. Been a good 3-year relationship. Been awesome to be with them. Me and Mike Penix kind of started this thing, passed it to T Mac and Ashton Genty, and now we got passing the Sharpie to Jeremiah Love, another great player in the mix. So excited to add him to the family, and I think we're getting TO too. So we got a legend, we got current players, we got a rookie coming in. So. Yeah.
Complete the whole set there. Look at that. By the way, what a pro. Just getting the pitch out right away.
Right away. Don't even play with it. Just do it.
We love to see it. Okay, so you've done a couple of these so far, a couple of interviews in the car wash. What's the one thing you've been getting asked that you're sick of being asked or anticipating not wanting to talk about?
Oh, man. Honestly, nothing really. I figured we're going to talk about Ben Johnson. We're going to talk about Caleb, talk about the Bears a little bit, talk about the offense, and then – yeah, I mean, I feel like that.
We're going to talk about you, too.
Yeah, we talk about myself a little bit. I'm a part of that equation, but, my perspective on those things, I think, is a big ask. But nothing I'm sick of, man. I love talking about my people.
Okay, good. Perfect. So then let's dive into it here. We talked before training camp. I think it was in mini camp. We talked on my show and kind of talking about, hey, Ben Johnson and some of the demanding nature of it and just what you were looking forward to being a part of this offense. So now we've done the full season, postseason. Kind of give me your view of what your role was like within the offense this year.
Yeah, I think it was a big role. I think they seen a lot of the assets that I could bring to the offense. I think beginning of the season when I was, getting in the flow of things, I think that I was off to a great start with all that, and then kind of had some trouble with injuries and different things like that kind of stunted my growth. But I'm happy with my role within that. I think we have so many different playmakers as well that they kind of tailor different plays, different type of plays to certain players. I think they do a great job of. So happy to be add my skill set to that value. But yeah,
that's what's exciting. It's some would say it's like a crowded room, but that's a good thing for you guys. It's tough for those of us on the outside whose job it is to try to forecast, okay, who's going to do this, who's going to do that, but that's what makes it fun. The challenge of the job is good, and I think that's the same for you guys too. And I would say watching you even, beyond the production, like charting the routes and doing the film analysis and all that, put a lot on your plate, which I think is good. It's something you can stand up to. And in the modern NFL, to be a receiver one or one of the top guys, you have to be able to do multiple things from a pre-snap standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the task is full for sure. The bucket is full when it comes to all different things that you have to be aware of and the attention that you may garner and in the passing game, and then you think about the running game and what you have to offer in that sense too. So it comes a lot to being an elite receiver in this league, but I'm looking forward to doing those.
Especially being the insert player, and being able to set up. Okay, we're showing run, but we're doing pass here, marrying the run and the pass. We think about it just this guy's getting the football thrown to him, but there's way more to it than just that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's a lot of intricacies to the football game that a lot of people, kind of on the outside may not know of, but it takes a lot of miniature successes to have even the success of one play. So all those things are going down continuously throughout the game, and this year we did an all right job with it.
Yeah, I was talking with Christian McCaffrey yesterday about it, how it's funny he used the same term that I was talking about, the sacrificial receiver, the guy that's got to clear things out for everybody else. And that's something that doesn't get shown up on the stat sheet, but it's a big part of one player, 11 guys moving all as one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a part of it that is part of the job. There's plays you might be the first read. There's plays where I'm probably not going to get the ball here, you know what I mean? But you got to attack each play with the same mindset of getting the job done, and we have a great group of guys that get that done. I think that we complement each other in that way.
You mentioned that you got off to a great start. First 5 weeks, absolutely tearing it up. And then from a stats perspective, things maybe tailed off towards the end. What do you think beyond, you mentioned injuries, but what kind of went into some of the split between the first half, maybe second half of the season?
Honestly, I think for me the biggest thing, which I don't like to use injuries as an excuse.
Sure.
But I feel like that was the biggest thing for me.
Pretty big. Yeah. It's a big thing,
I feel like I was, in a pretty comfortable spot, finding my, rhythm with Caleb and within the offense, and some of those things kind of just stunted it, whether I had to, take time off with the practice reps or take time off and limited reps during the game. With some of the things that affected it. And I say that from a factual standpoint because that's what it was. But at the end of the day, I said it earlier, you do or you don't in this league, and I didn't do it long enough and consistent enough throughout the season.
Yeah, you mentioned it was a postseason interview talking with Antoine Randall, your receiver coach, about making the most of those opportunities when those come your way. Yeah. If you were to give yourself a grade or kind of maybe be a hard grader on yourself, what do you need to do to sort of take that next step?
You saying give myself a grade, or what do I need to
like,
do?
What do you need to do to kind of get yourself make the most of those opportunities? Really.
I think I just need to make them. At the end of the day, I think like I said, all those kind of things that I talked about before play into that, but. It's my job in this league to go make plays and make the most of opportunities that do come my way, regardless of what that looks like, and I think the great ones do. So to be mentioned with some of those guys and continue to be in those conversations, I got to do it.
Yeah, when we talk about this room in Chicago, you got DJ Moore. He's kind of the veteran guy. I was actually talking with him earlier as well. And then you got Luther Burden, rookie wide receiver. You got Colston Loveland. He's tight end, but he's doing a lot within that offense. Right. What was it like getting those two younger guys, Luther, Colston, in the mix there?
It was awesome, man. I mean, to see their emergence throughout the season and their more prolific role within the offense as the season goes on, just seeing their playmaking ability was dope, man. Luther, somebody said it on the team. KB said it that every time he gets the ball, it feels like a punt return, like it's about to be a highlight play. And he has a tremendous ability to do that. And then you go to Loveland and his catching ability and all over the field. And he's a tight end that can block with the best of them and can run routes with the best of them as well. So two great guys, two great additions, along with Cal Monungai, who got a lot of reps and did a great job in the backfield. So. But the rookie class did a great job for us this year.
And I think what's cool too is, which is crazy again, Colston Loveland a tight end, but not the traditional just inline tight end. I mean, there are times when he's lined up as the isolated receiver on a single side, which then allows like you and Luther to both play into the slot. If it's a 3-by-1 formation, it's just like there's a lot of guys. I think that the versatility really stands out to me in this room.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many different things that skill sets that they provide, and so many different formations and motion shifts that Ben Johnson can kind of play with because we have the skill set of so many different guys to get the job done. So I think that adds to the lethality of our offense. Yeah.
Lethality. I think that. I mean. Lethalness. I think lethality sounds better than lethalness. But theoretically, I am a writer, but we're podcasting today, so that's a totally different situation.
Got to look that up for me, please.
Yeah, we'll figure that one out later. But you mentioned Caleb Williams, man. I think it was fun to watch your guys' connection sort of grow and try to find itself throughout the course of the season. Mm-hmm. What is he like as a quarterback in terms of, hey, I want you to be here, or is he more of like a flexible quarterback in that situation?
Yeah, I think he plays both roles for sure. When there's specific routes where he's like, I think this will be a good spot for it. He definitely gives his opinions on the thing, and obviously Ben, is very detailed with his.
Yeah, that we know.
Yeah, very detailed with what he wants as well. So he tries to play around that a little bit, and they're in conversation about what they want. But yeah, I think it's a good mix. He, does a great job of kind of letting receivers run their thing, but when he wants to add some input, to get us the ball at the end of the day, he's not hesitant to share that.
And I will say, I mean, again, I'm very excited to see this offense sort of in the second year, the second iteration, because I think it goes under discussed, like what a big transition that was from what you guys were doing in your rookie year to then this year. And I'm sure for you, it's almost like, not that your head's swimming in 1 year, but I mean, this year, do you feel like you're going to come back in and be like, all right, I kind of know what I'm doing. It's like your second year in a school, like sophomore year. Okay, I know the way around. I don't need to map anymore. And in that way, you can just sort of kind of add on and improve from there.
Absolutely. With the new offense, I think, I was kind of with that feeling, obviously going through training camp and, having the beginning of the season that I had, I was like, man, I'm ready to take off, feel like I was in that mode. And that's why I have so much confidence that I'm, going to go do that going forward because, I felt that before. I felt what that's going to be like, with another year under my belt with the experiences that I've had. Now I've dealt with, maybe an offensive, type of season, offensive lull type of season. I've dealt with an injury type of season. I think those are the two biggest things that can hold a receiver back maybe in this league. So I've got an elite quarterback, so I don't got to worry about that.
That helps, right? Yeah.
So, at the end, I think it's all ahead of me for sure.
Feels like you've got a lot of confidence in yourself. You've got a lot of confidence in the system, the quarterback. And
absolutely.
Listen, I was just doing a podcast yesterday where we were talking about who's going to be next year's Bears. Like that offense that takes a step from bottom 10 in the rankings to then top 10 in the rankings in terms of like efficiency metrics, things of that nature. And for you, though, it's like, I'm not worried about who's next year's Bears. I'm working about how we can keep ourselves in that top 10. It feels like you got a lot of confidence in that.
I do. I think we got the good system in place. Obviously we got to bring a few pieces in with our coaches leaving, free agents and different things of that leaving. So I think we got a good core, though, and I'm excited about the future. I think we got a good group of guys that are ambitious. We're confident in what we do, and I think
feels like an unselfish group too.
Yeah. That's another thing to add to it: the humble, humility, and the selflessness of everybody that pour into the system.
Let's get you out of here on this. What's one thing about the wide receiver position or playing the wide receiver position that maybe people on the outside, fans, kind of misunderstand?
Dang. People misunderstand. I mean, I guess one thing is just like routes and like the specificness of routes. And, you know, some people feel like they have an understanding of what routes are supposed to be where, the timing of certain things, and maybe that essence of things, or maybe all that. But it's not just, you know, drawn on the paper, this is the route you run every play.
Yeah.
Every single route you go out there is going to have 2, maybe 3 options of like what that defender does is going to make you do that. So I think it's a little bit more intricate when it comes to those things, that unless you're, you know, in those rooms, unless you're in the offense knowing exactly what's supposed to be done, it's hard to really calculate.
I was going to say, yeah, this is something I literally do for a living. Is like I chart the routes and I put this together. But even I can admit, like, I don't know what the exact plan was there. So you always got to come at, you mentioned being humble in the room as a player. You got to be humble as an analyst too, to be like, I think I know that this was what was supposed to happen, but it's why, you know, you don't want to go out there and like make videos slamming guys or something, because you're just not sure. And like the miscommunication aspect comes to that as well.
I think you do one of the best jobs though, man, honestly, with your analysis. So you do your homework, and I would ask people to do theirs.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. This game's so fun, you know, and my God, it's like this is my job. This is better than a real job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not out there working on the railroad. So, you know, you can actually put some time into it and learn and everything, because there's so much within the game. And I mean, the coverage part of it is tough too. Like you said, there's a lot on your guys' plate about, hey, if it looks this way, then maybe I break it in this sense. But again, that's something that's pretty difficult for us on the outside to know.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's tough. Shoot, it's tough for us to know on any given play. So I can imagine, but you know, it's fun seeing analysis as well. I mean, people are fans of the game; they want to be involved with it, and I think, you know, doing that deep analysis and, you know, yearning to want to understand what's supposed to be done and root for your team are all, you know, great aspects to it. So.
All right, Rome Odunze, appreciate your time here on behalf of Sharpie. Thanks so much for stopping by, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Man. Good stuff.
Thank you.